Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it as many of your players do, I'd as lief the town crier had spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air too much thus with your hands, but use all gently, for in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Be not too tame neither, but let your own discretion be your tutor. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance, that you o'erstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so o'erdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end, both at the first and now, was and is, to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue her own feature, scorn her own image, and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure and don't make you ready. How now, my lord, will the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen, too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste. Will you two help to hasten them?
We will, my lord.
What ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, good my lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advancement may I hope from thee, that no revenue hast but thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? For thou hast been as one in suffering all that suffers nothing, a man whose fortune's buffets and rewards attain with equal thanks, and blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger to sound what stop she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this? There is a play tonight before the king. One scene comes very near the circumstance that I've told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost we have seen. Give him heedful note. For mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join to censure of his seeming.
If he steal off while this play is playing and escape detection, I will pay the theft.
They are coming to the play. I must be idle. Get you a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent of faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot feed capon so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now. My lord, you played at the university once, you say?
I did, my lord, and I was accounted a good actor.
And what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brute killed me.
'Twas a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon my patience.
Come hither, my good Hamlet, sit by me.
No, good mother, here's metal more attractive.
Oh, do you mark that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
Well, that's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is?
Nothing.
Or marry, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
Oh, God, you're only jig maker. What should man do but be merry? For look you, how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long? Nay, then, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh, heavens. Died 2 months and not forgotten yet. In this hope a good man's memory may outlive his life half a year. Mary, this is Michingmelheko. That means mischief.
I'll be like this show imports the argument of the play.
We shall know by this fellow. The players cannot keep counsel. They'll tell all.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this a prologue or the posy of a ring?
'Tis brief, my lord.
This woman's love.
Full 30 times hath Phoebus' cart gone round, Neptune's salt wash and telesorbed ground, and 30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen about the world 12 times 30's been, since love our hearts and Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred band.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er ere love be done.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their function cease to do, and you shall stay in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and haply so in kind, for husband
Oh,
shalt thou...
confound the rest! Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second husband let me be accursed, none wed the second but who killed the first.
Wormwood, wormwood.
I do believe you think what now you speak, but oft we do determine whate'er we break. But orderly to end where I begun, my thoughts and will do so contrary run that our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, their ends none of our own. So think thou shalt no second husband wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first lord is dead.
Nor earth to give me food, nor heaven light, sport and repose lack for me day and night. Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife, if once a widow, ever I be wife.
She should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirit grows dull, and fain I will beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep, rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you the play?
The lady protests too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No. They do but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. Mary. How? Tropically. This play is the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago's the Duke's name. His wife Baptista, you shall see anon. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your Majesty and we that have free souls, it touches us not. Let the galled jade wince. Our withers are unwrung. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a chorus, my lord.
I could interpret between you and your love if I could see the puppets dallying.
Thoughts black, hands act, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature seen. Thou mixture rank of midnight weeds collected, with Hecate's bands, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire property, unwholesome life, usurp immediately.
The king rises.
What, frighted with false fire?
Alas, how fares my lord?
Give o'er the play!
Give me some light!
Light! Why, let the stricken deer go weep, the heart ungalled play. For some must watch while some must sleep, so runs the world away. Oh, good! Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for 1,000 pounds. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the talk of
I did
poisoning.
know him well.
Ooh, come, some music. Come, the recorders. If the king like not the comedy, be like he likes a not, party. Some music.
Good, my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, a whole history.
The king, sir.
Aye, sir, what of him?
Is in his retirement marvelous dismembered?
With drink, sir?
No, my lord, rather with choler.
Your wisdom should show itself more richer to signify this to his doctor, for me, to put him to his purgation would perhaps plunge him into far more choler.
Good, my lord, put your discourse into some frame, and start not so wildly from my affair.
I am tame, sir, pronounce.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good my lord, this courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your mother's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But such answers I can make, you shall command, or rather, as you say, my mother. Therefore, no more, but to the matter. My mother, you say?
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
We shall obey were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
Oh, my lord, you once did love me.
So I do still, by these pickers and stealers.
Oh, good my lord, but what is the cause of your distemper? You do freely bar the door of your own liberty when you deny your grief to your friends.
Sir, I lack advancements.
How can that be, when you have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark?
Aye, but while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Oh, the recorder. Let me see. To withdraw with you, sir, why do you go about to recover the wind of me as if you would drive me into a toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
Oh, I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It is as easy as lying. Govern these ventages with your fingers and thumbs. Give a breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look, these are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you now. How unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. You would sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. And there is much music, excellent voice in this little organ, yet cannot you make it speak? Splut, do you think I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will. Though you can fret me, you cannot play upon me. God bless you, sir.
The queen would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see yonder cloud that's almost in shape of a camel?
By the mass it is, like a camel indeed.
Methinks 'tis like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel.
Or like a whale.
Very like a whale.
Then I will come to my mother by and by.
I will tell her so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. Now is the very witching time of night when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft. Now to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. Howe'er in my words she may be shent, to give them seals, never my soul consent.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. Therefore prepare you. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of his lunacy.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon this fear which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
Lord Hamlet's going to his mother's closet. I'll warrant she'll tax him home. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself in brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy, but to confront the visage of offense? My fault is past. But, oh, what form of prayer may serve my turn? forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, mine own ambition, and my wife. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? And yet, what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state, oh, bosom black as death, oh, blind soul, which, struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels, make essay. Bow, stubborn knees, and heart, with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do it pat. Now he's praying, and now I'll do it, and so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scant. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain send to heaven? Well, this is higher in salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May. And how his audit stands, who knows save heaven, but in our circumstance and course of thought is heavy with him. And am I then revenged to take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No! Up, sword, and know thou a more horrid hint. When he is drunk, asleep, in his rage, and the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that hath no relish of salvation in it, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat and him. I'll silence me in here. I pray you, be round with him.
Mother!
I'll warrant you, fear me not.
Mother!
Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Mother! Now, Mother! What's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
Oh, what's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would you were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, or you may see the inmost part of you.
What thou do? Someone does murder me! Help! Help, ho!
What ho? Help! Murder!
Oh, no.
Help!
A rat?
Help!
Yes! For a dead! Dead! I'm slain.
What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
What a rash and bloody deed is this?
Bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Oh, wretched, rash, intruding fool! I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace. Set you down. and let me wring your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff. If damned custom have not brassed it so that it is bulwark and proof against sense.
What have I done that thou darest to wag thy tongue and noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicers oath.
Like me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Well, look you upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, a combination and form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Can you from this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday in the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Oh, shame! Where's thy blood?
Hamlet, speak to me no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave a taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty side. A villain and a murderous slave that is not 20th part the tithe of thy precedent lord, a king of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure? Do you not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest body, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is't with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? O gentle son, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him, look you how pale he glares, his form and cause conjoined. Preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Look you there, my father in his habit as he lived. Look you where he goes even now, out of the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Mother, for the love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what is past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rank. Forgive me this, my virtue. For in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo, for leave to do him good.
O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part and live the pure with the other half. Good night, but do not go to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him and answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night, mother. I must be cruel only to be kind, lest bad begins and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means, that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, or let him for paddling of his fingers on your damned neck make you to ravel all this out, that I am essentially not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
Alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most brave. It was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, Mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves you must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. Where is your son?
Ah, my good lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips his rapier out and cries, "A rat! A rat!" and in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Heavy deed. It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like an ore among a mineral of metal space, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho, Guildenstern, friends both, join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, bring a body into the chapel. I pray you make haste to this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends to let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Gertrude, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper?
At supper? Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms is eaten at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggars, but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end.
Alas.
A man may fish with a worm that have eat of a king, and eat of that fish that have fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Well, nothing, but to show you how a king may go progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven, sent thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go and seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed of thine, for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare yourself. The bark is ready and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it if thou knewst our purpose.
I see a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. But come, for England.
Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. Delay it not. I'll have him hence tonight. Away, for everything is sealed and done that else leans on the affair. I pray you make haste. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full by letters congruing to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Good sir, whose powers are these?
They are of Norway, sir.
How purpose, sir, I pray you?
Against some part of Poland.
Who commands them?
The nephew to old Norway, Fortinbras.
Goes it against the main of Poland, or for some frontier?
Truly to speak, and with no addition, they go to seek a little patch of ground that hath in it no profit but the name. To pay 5 ducats, 5, I would not farm it.
Surely the Polak will not defend it.
Yes, it is already garrisoned.
2,000 souls and 20,000 ducats will not debate the question of this straw.
Please you go, my lord.
I'll be with you straight. Go a little before. How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man? If his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed, a beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse looking before and after gave us not that capability and godlike reason to fuss in us unused. And now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which quartered hath but 1 part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know why yet I live to say this thing's to do, sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it. Examples gross as earth exhort. Witness this army of such mass and charge, led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed makes mouths at the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death, and danger dare, even for an eggshell. Rightly, to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I then, that hath a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep, whilst to my shame I see the imminent death of 20,000 men, that for a fantasy, a trick of fame, go to their graves like beds. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody, or be nothing worth.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate. Indeed, distraught, her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. She says she hears the tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurs enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move hearers to collection.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may yet strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself and fearing to be spilt.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know? From another one, by his cockle hat and staff, and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what import?
Say you nay, pray you mark.
He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, and at
his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you mark! White his shroud as the mountain snow, larded with sweet flowers, which be wept to the grave did not go.
Here, my lord.
With true love showers.
How do ye, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but not what we may be.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words on that. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up heroes and dons his clothes, and stop the chamber door. Let in a maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia!
Indeed, law! Without an oath, I'll make an end on it. By just and by see charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. He answered, that would I had done my yonder son, had thou not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. Oh, but I cannot choose but weep to think that they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so, I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. For this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. Poor Ophelia divided from herself and from her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, feeds on these wonders, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ears with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
Save yourself, your majesty. The ocean, over-peering of his list, eats not the flats with more impetuous haste than young Laertes in a riotous head o'erbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. They cry, choose we, Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applaud to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king.
The doors are broke.
Where is the king?
O thou vile king, give me my father!
Comely, good Laertes!
That drop of blood that's come proclaims me bastard! Christ cuckold to my father! Brands a harlot! Even here, between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother!
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such a divinity doth hedge a king, that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell us, good Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him!
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand. To both the worlds I give the negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged, most throughly from my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the true story of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge that sweepstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind and life-rendering pelican, repast them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it, shall as level to your judgment pierce as day doth to your eye.
Now? What noise is that?
For him barefaced on our beard.
Oh, heat, dry up my brains. Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister. Oh, sweet Ophelia! Oh, heavens, is it possible a young maid's wits could be as mortal as an old man's life?
Fare you well, my dove.
Oh, hadst thou thy wits and did persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's pansy, that's for thought. There's fennel for you, and columbine. So here's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it Herb Grace of Sunday, so you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he met a good end. Bonny sweet robin is all my joy, and will he
Loss
not
and affliction,
come again?
passion,
Will he not
hell itself she turns to favor and to prettiness. Oh, do you see this? Oh, God!
I must commune with your grief, Laertes, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and everything we call ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us. We shall jointly labor with your soul to give it its due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure burial, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment over his bones, no formal rites, no noble ostentation, all cry to be heard as it were from heaven to earth, that I must cause in question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you go with me.
What is he that would speak with me?
A sailor, sir. He says he has letters for you.
Let him come in. Do not know from what part of the world I should be greeted if not from the Lord Hamlet.
God bless you, sir.
And let him bless you too.
He shall, sir, and it please him. There's letters for you, sir, from the ambassador that was bound for England. If your name be Horatio, as I am not to know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give this fellow some means to the king. He has letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate to very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valor, and in the grapple I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much haste as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. Yet are they much too light for the bore of the matter. This good fellow will bring thee to where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell, he that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these your letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now must your conscience my acquittance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, whereas by your safety, wisdom, and all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, and yet to me they're strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks. For myself, my virtue or my plague, be it either which. She's so conjunctive to my life and soul that, as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive why to a public count I might not go is the great love the general gender bear him.
And so have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, who has, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age for her perfections. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. Do not think we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shall shortly hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This is to your majesty, and this is to the queen.
From Hamlet, who brought them?
A sailor, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear it. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know that I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasions of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character. Naked, and in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me in it?
I'm lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
If so, you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he is come back as checking at his voyage, and that he no more means to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his own mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Good Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow?
Why ask you this?
Hamlet returns. What would you undertake to prove yourself your father's son in deed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns shall know you are come home. Will set on those shall praise your excellence, and put a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. Hamlet, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite him for your father.
I'll do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife into it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected of all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death as but scratched withal. I'll dip my point in this contagion, so that if I but gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think on this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift show through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore this project should have a back or second, if it should blast in proof. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your cunning. I have it. When in your motions you grow hot and thirsty, as make your bouts more violent to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Now, how now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. There on the pendant boughs, her crownet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down the weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or as a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned, drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet, 'tis our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
Now let us follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
When I get round it now, they thought it was very mean. So contrast, oh, time for by the whole. Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The coroner hath sat on her and finds it Christian burial.
Now, how can that be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
What is found so?
It must be se offendendo. It cannot be else. Where lies the point? If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act, and an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Ergo, she drowned herself wittingly.
But is it the law?
Well, I marry is the coroner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on it? If she were not a gentlewoman, she would have been buried out of Christian burial.
Well, there thou sayest, and more the pity that gentlefolk should have more countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves, more than they're even Christian. There is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave diggers. They hold up Adam's profession.
But was he a gentleman?
Well, was the first that ever bore arms.
He had none.
Art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? Hey, I'll put another question to thee. Answers me to the purpose or confess thyself.
Oh, go to! Go to!
What is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker! For his frame outlives 1,000 tenants!
I like thy wit well in good faith. The gallows does well indeed. But how does the gallows well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Ergo, the gallows may do well to thee. Do it again, come.
Who builds stronger than a mason? A shipwright or a carpenter?
All right, tell me that and unyoke.
Mass, I cannot tell.
Oh, cudgel thy brains no more about it, for thy dull ass will not mend its pace with beating him. And when your ass this question next, say a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Go, fetch me a stoop of liquor.
A stoop of liquor?
Stoop of liquor.
Stoop of liquor.
Stoop of liquor. Now in youth when I did love.
No feeling of his business that he sings a grave maker.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. I will speak to this fellow.
Whose grave's this, sir, huh?
Oh, mine, sir.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
Oh, one that was a woman, sir, but God rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days of the year, I came to it that very day, our last King Hamlet o'ercame Fortinbras.
And how long is that since?
Oh, cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that was mad and sent into England.
Aye, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Yeah, because he was mad. Shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
Oh, 'twill not be seen in them there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Here in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, for 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Oh, faith, if he be not rotten before he die, it'll last you some 8 or 9 years. Well, here's the skull now, sir. This skull has lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
Oh, a mad rogue was he. Do you know who it was?
Nay, I know not.
Oh, pestilence on him. Poured a flag of Renaissance on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull. King's jester.
This?
Even that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. Well, I knew him, Horatio. Fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now how aboard my imagination as my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I've kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chop fallen. Now, get you to my lady's chamber. Tell her let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Soft, soft aside. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who's that they follow in such maimed rites? This doth betoken the corpse they follow did with desperate hand fordo its own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while, Mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth, Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but the great command our swayed, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet.
Must no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead, to sing sage requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Lair in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
What the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not to have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe, fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, who deprived thee of the most ingenious sense. Hold off the earth a while, till I've caught her once more in mine arms. Thou, bow your dust upon the quick and dead.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded ears? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
Devil take thy soul!
Praise not will! I prithee take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splintered of a rash, yet have I some giving dangers, which let my voice
Pluck them asunder.
Hamlet!
My lord! Good, my lord, be quiet!
Why? I will fight with him upon this theme till my eyelids no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers with all their quantity of love cannot make up my sum. What would thou do for her?
Oh, this is madness, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Fools, show me what thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up Isel, eat a crocodile, I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her. And so will I.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray you wait upon him, good Horatio. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We will put the matter to a present push. Sweet Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep rashly, and praised be rashness force. Let us know. Sometimes our indiscretions sometimes serve us well, and our deep plots do pall. And that should teach us. There's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark groped I to find out them, had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio. Oh, royal knavery. An exact command, larded with many several sorts of reasons, imparting Denmark's health, and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervised, no leisure baited, no, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
It's possible.
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But, wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, not striving to have it allowed.
But how was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordered. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ up in form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight, and what to that was sequent thou knowest already.
So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern go to it.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience.
What a king is this?
Does it not, thinkest thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king, toward my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cousinage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine. But I'm very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause, I see the portraiture of his.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to its right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks 'tis very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, it is very sultry, as sure. I cannot tell how. But, sir, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager upon your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you,
remember. Good thing. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society, and great showing. Indeed, if I may speak feelingly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what card a gentleman would seek.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorially would dizzy the arithmetic of memory.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The concernancy, sir. Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more raw breath?
Sir?
It's not possible to understand in another tongue? You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty. All his golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, but yet, faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence, but to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean for his weapon. But for the imputation laid on him by them, in his mean, sir, he's unbellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but...
Well, the king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He has laid on 12 for 9, and it shall come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe an answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, 'tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the fools be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose, I will win for him if I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you even so?
To this effect, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours, yours. He does well to commend it himself, that no tongues else for his turn.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I've been in continual practice. I will win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it's no matter.
If your heart dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you're not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is it to leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet. Come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir, I've done you wrong, but pardon it as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done, that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I'm satisfied in nature. whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will know reconcilement. But I do receive your offered love, like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes, for in mine ignorance your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Cousin Hamlet, do you know the wager?
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is better, we have therefore odds.
This one's too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all the length.
Aye, my good lord.
If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit an answer of the third exchange, the king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup and union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings of Denmark in their crowns have worn.
Oh.
Give me the cups. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judge, must bear a wary eye.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord.
One!
No!
Judgment.
A hit! A probable hit!
Well, again!
Stay! Give me the drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the drink.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Another hit would say.
A touch! A touch, I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
I will hit him now, my lord.
I do not think it.
And yet it's almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes? You Badali, I pray you pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Well, come on!
Nothing, either way.
Have it now!
Come again!
Look to the queen!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
Laertes!
The woodcock to mine own spring, Joshua. I'm justly killed for my own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
The drink! The drink! Oh, Hamlet, the drink! I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy. Let the doors be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. The instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practices laid me here, lo, never to rise again. Thy mother is poisoned. The king's to blame.
The point, and venom too. And venom, do thy will.
Go!
Here, thou incestuous, murderous,
defend me,
damned
friends, I am but heart.
thing. Drink off this potion. Is the union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Hamlet, mine and my father's death be not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen of dew. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, who are but mute or audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell sergeant Death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause a right to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it! I am more antique Roman than a Dane. There's yet some liquor left.
Thou art a man, give me the cup. I have now have it. Oh, good. Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ergrows my spirit. You have my dying voice, so tell them with the occurrence, more and less. The rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.